9 News at 7 with Peter Overton.
Good evening, everyone. We begin our broadcast with breaking news, a scandal rocking the Ashes that's threatening to damage cricket's reputation. Reporter Ros Kelly is in Durham, where Australia and England are training ahead of the 4th Test. Ros, what's the latest from there?
Pete, the ICC General Manager of Cricket Operations, Jeff Allardyce, is heading here to Durham after it emerged players may have found a way to avoid edges showing up on hotspot. It's understood silicone tape is applied to the edge of the bat, and the concerns centre around Kevin Pietersen's dismissal in the 2nd innings in Manchester. He was given out, caught behind. There was clearly a noise, but nothing showed up on hotspot. It's not just England under investigation. 9 News understands Australian batsmen may also be using this method. The DRS has come under intense criticism throughout this entire Ashes series, and this may be the reason why. Pete?
All right, Ros, thank you for that. Ken Sutcliffe joins me now in the studio. Ken, what does this mean for the game?
Well, I don't think it's good at this particular point in time. You know, we've had underarm, we've had match fixing, and that was blighted the game for a time. Look, if this is an intentional thing to confuse the hotspot, you've got to say it's tantamount to cheating. There has been a rumour around for a long time that the bats were being made silicone compound. Now, whether that's a deliberate thing or just part of making a bat, you'll remember years and years ago, batsmen would walk out with tape all around the bats, all over the place, just trying to keep them together because they had a favourite bat. These days, they don't do that anymore. They replace them like you replace with confetti. But at the same time, the idea of putting a silicone strip down the side or the edge of the bat to confuse the hotspot is very, very suspect. And both teams are being looked at, and I would imagine that it's probably being looked at worldwide. There's a lot more to go on this one, Pete.
All right, Ken. We'll talk to you later for sport. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chris. Next in the national news, fresh claims levelled against the love rat politician, plus the hero who pulled a motorcyclist from this fireball, and a diver's surprise encounter with a shark. A motorcyclist rescued from a fireball in Melbourne owes his life to a hero passerby. Witnesses say it's a miracle no one was killed when the man's bike collided with a car and burst into flames.
7:30 this morning in the middle of Bay Street.
Please move away! Go back inside, please!
Car and motorbike burn as the flames get bigger. Moments earlier, the driver of the car hit the bike as she was trying to do a U-turn. She got out. Dazed and in shock, the bike rider watches on.
Hey, get out of there, mate!
Then the fuel tank explodes.
Oh.
Passerby Charlie Mio runs in to drag him to safety.
You all right, brother?
With fuel all over the road, it's a battle to contain the flames. But finally, they get it under control.
You're lucky to be alive, pal.
Thank you so much for your help
Well
today.
done, brother.
Charlie says his instincts simply kicked in.
All I did is drag the bloke away from the fire and got him out of harm's way, that's all.
Crews say they feared the flames would spread to the busy row of shops.
At one stage, it looked like the car was going to roll down the hill into the gutter near the shops, and then it would have been a much bigger job then.
Those who watched the whole thing unfold say it's remarkable that both drivers managed to walk away, and they believe Charlie played a crucial role.
You know, he did such a great thing.
But it's a real good outcome. He's good, she's good, and they're insured.
Chloe Bigelli, 9 News.
Lance Franklin looks set to reject the lure of Megabut's deal with GWS and re-sign with Hawthorn. For the first time in 6 months, Buddy stated his desire to remain a Hawk, saying he loves the club.
Around the country, another sunny day in Brisbane, a shower or two in Sydney, Canberra and Melbourne. Partly cloudy for Adelaide tomorrow and the same for Hobart. Rain expected in Perth tomorrow. Looking ahead to Friday, a fine day in Brisbane and Darwin. 19 degrees and partly cloudy for Sydney. Rain in Hobart and Melbourne. And that is 9's national news right here on Gem HD. I'm Peter Overton on behalf of Ken and myself. Good night.